Welcome, and
Welcome, everyone.
to the DNA Sportscast. I'm your host, Aiden,
And I'm Daniel.
and we're here to talk more waffle this week.
Yeah, love a bit of waffle. Love a bit of waffles and bacon. It's great, man. It's great when to start your day. Now, see, you got an entree right there.
Entree.
Main course is
Entree.
coming up.
Soon.
Well, you know what, mate? There's been a couple of games for both of our teams.
Yeah, lots of games.
In the last week of the Premier League and Champions League for you.
For one of us, yeah.
Europa for another.
It's actually not a bad song, to be honest with you. It's just
Was
because
was that the song?
that's the Europa League song.
I thought I don't know what you were trying to replicate there, mate.
I was just auditioning for Australian Idol.
I know it really well.
Don't worry,
Obviously,
I've been there.
you guys,
we've been up and down.
I think we've probably played in more Europa League football than you guys in the last 10 years for sure.
in the last 10.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
Yeah,
100%. I don't.
Every
It's
now
either
and
you're
then.
in Champions League or you're not. It seems. You know what I mean?
we're in Champions League or we're not in nothing at all.
It's like no, we're all we throw. You guys throw the sink at
No, we
the
won.
at the European comps.
I was looking at the Abramovich era not long ago, and
Yeah.
5 Premier Leagues, 2 Champions Leagues, 2 Europa Leagues. I want to say 5 FA Cups and 3 League Cups.
This talks it all for itself, man.
Yeah, mate. Now we've got
Wait,
the Bowley
How many
era.
League Cups? League Cups, yes.
League Cups, like
yeah.
Carabao,
Yeah,
English
yeah.
League Cup, yeah.
Just quickly before we go into this, I just want to air something about these competitions. Like, I swear they're important one year and then they're not the next because of the types of supporters that actually count these cups. Like, I don't know, like if I as a United fan, like being into the we're in the Carabao Cup final now, so it's like.
You count it because you're there.
Do I? I don't
Well,
know. It's like
alright.
it's the first bit of silverware before the Community Shield, after the Community Shield, and I don't know. I feel I'm excited for it. It's nice to have something to show for what effort we've put in, but it's not like at the start of the season, the first cup on my mind is the Carabao.
Well, think of it this way. At least you're not Tottenham Hotspur, because they'll take anything they can get.
They literally will, man. They literally will.
Yep.
They'll go hammer and tong for a preseason friendly tournament.
Mate, a Community Shield.
They're
That's
We're gonna have to tell
The Audi Cup.
the grandkids something, mate. So let's get into it. So you want to talk about Chelsea first?
might as well.
Yeah.
I'm wearing not Chelsea today.
That's a ballsy. It's a ballsy move.
Look,
So
I don't-
you guys
I don't-
played Dortmund, but we'll talk about West Ham.
Yeah.
The West Ham game
I'll
first.
talk a bit about both. I won't wear any other Premier League tops.
You've worn that on the show.
I've worn this
before,
on the show
so-
before. I'll wear other tops. I'll wear, Barca, Real Madrid, Dortmund. I love Dortmund.
I'll
So that
represent-
game was fun to watch. Actually, it was painful to watch, but I like Dortmund, so it's kind of fun.
Yeah, no, for
It
sure.
was exciting and then painful.
Nah, Dortmund's a good team. It's a good neutral team, and I think everyone can support them, even if you're playing against them. You're just not supporting them, but it's not like, it's like in that 90 minutes there, you're a sworn enemy, but then after that, it's nothing,
Yeah. Well, anyways,
West
we'll
Ham-
talk about the
the-
West Ham
the West
game
Hammers.
first. Now, that feels like it happened 3 years ago.
Yeah,
but
I know.
as I'm sure the Leeds game feels like a long time for you
It
as well.
does, man. It does. I
But,
was like, because
yeah.
we played them twice in a row. I'm like, hang on.
Yeah.
I'm like, I obviously know the difference between the two games, but it's just like I was just trying to figure out. It's like, it went so quickly that period there.
Yeah.
Because it was like how many games? Like there was a game like every day.
Yeah, the games
So-
are coming thick and fast.
They are, mate. They
That's
are.
what she said.
Yeah.
Anyways, Chelsea versus West
thick
Ham.
and fast. Jesus, you got some girth on your
Coming
mate.
thick and fast, mate.
Fuck. There's sometimes where I'm telling, I'm talking about this podcast to some people, and some people I would not want to listen to this, and they're like, "Oh, I might give it a sus." I'm like, "Please don't." I'm just like, there are definitely like some good PG bits in here, but there are some.
I'll recommend
fucking
certain
stupid-
episodes to you.
Yeah, but that's the thing. We're just so random about it. Like, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
It's
I'll just say whatever comes
we
to my
don't
mind.
mean it. Whatever the fuck it is, we don't mean it.
So how was your weekend?
Yeah, I don't want to talk about that one. It was a lot of fun.
All right. Anyways,
Um,
football
so
podcast.
West
Chelsea
Ham-
West Ham 1-1. Now,
Key takeaways, go.
the first 20 minutes, unreal. The Enzo and Felix link up, unreal. Looks dangerous. All right. What doesn't look dangerous is players like Havertz not being able to finish his chances, like Kukurea refusing to pass the ball to Mudryk.
Oh my god, that
Like,
was blatant.
I don't
man.
get it. I just
That was
don't get
blatant,
it. I just
but
don't get it.
I
And
don't.
Chilwell's back now. He started the Champions League game. He's still
And-
finding his feet though after his injury.
Yeah,
but-
Chilwell, I reckon Chilwell will be in there in no time, and I think you guys should find some.
Yeah.
Some. You should be more stable with him now, and as the
Yeah.
players come back, you know.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So in that game, it looked in the first 20 minutes, it looked like things were clicking, and then it just sort of died off, got a bit lackluster, and then of course an ex-Chelsea player had to score the goal, Emerson Palmieri. Painful. I don't know who to blame the goal on.
Deserved. It was a deserved.
There
goal.
was Kukurea could have stopped the cross, he didn't. Madueke didn't track Emerson's run. Reece James was marking, I think, Antonio, but someone else was. There was like two Chelsea players were marking the same
You're right.
person. Reece
Yeah.
James should have peeled off to mark Emerson, but don't know if we saw him there or not. It's kind of just everyone had a bit of a stinker in that moment, and then it just
Yeah, it's what it seems like.
Fell
You
off.
have stinker moments, bro.
Yeah.
It's like, there are those moments in the match where you need to show up, and
Yeah.
your players don't do that. But like, think about the names you just run through, like Madueke and Kukurea, and they're Badiashile, like all those boys there. They're so young still. Not
Yeah,
so
yeah,
young,
yeah.
but like
Well-
they've still got time to improve and mold, and they'll learn from that.
Since Benoit Badiashile has come in, that's the first goal that we've conceded while he's been playing. So clean sheet, I think it was like 3 or 4 clean sheets in a row since he came into the team, and then that's the first goal. And then after that, we looked good defensively, but in the first half, we even scored 2 offside goals.
Yeah.
And they weren't offside by a lot. I think Felix's was a bit far
Dude,
offside,
I
but
know.
Havertz's one was like so close.
Yeah.
And I'm surprised we couldn't have gotten a little bit of luck. We couldn't bloody win a coin toss with a trick coin, it seems. Honestly, with the amount of stinkers that VAR was having this weekend,
Look, man,
unreal.
I
Should have had the penalty. Souček, best goalkeeper, honestly. Anyone's looking for a keeper? Tottenham.
remember what
Tottenham needs a keeper.
last week, I said, like, West Ham going to this game, you think they'll show up at London Stadium. And yeah, man, it's just like they just didn't. They just not that they didn't, but it just seemed like both of the teams you just see that they were struggling.
Yeah.
They weren't playing the best football by a long stretch because, players like Kukurea was getting away with just being too safe and
Passing it sideways, backwards.
so it's so interesting,
Pointless.
man.
And then-
But yeah, Souček,
Great save.
that handball.
Our keepers
was-
can't get down that fast.
Straight away, I was like, that's a penalty, and
They barely. even
yeah,
looked
you're
at
right.
it.
You're right. Goalkeepers can't go down that
that
fast.
was a great
He was
save.
unreal.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what they've been warming him up for. I don't know, but I was just like I was saying last week about Souček. I was like, fuck, if I wanted to be a player, I'd be like him, and then he goes and does that. In terms of
Yeah.
a player, like I'd love to be a player like
Oh,
him.
I always
But,
used to think as a keeper,
he was showing threat.
as a keeper, if the ball's going towards your sort of down towards your left,
yeah,
wouldn't it be faster to just kick your leg out? As a keeper, instead of dropping and trying to get it with your hand.
I think he's just tall. I don't know. I think it's
But-
something to do with his.
so-
he's
but
not
that's-
he's not that agile. You know what I mean?
Nah.
He's like as a
But
tall
you
bloke.
think-
Yeah.
That's what I think about goalkeepers. But then when you think about outfield players, Souček still wants to get down with his hand. I don't know.
Souček. The reason why Souček was on in the first place because of Paqueta's injury as well. By the way, that's a
Yeah,
big one. It could be
yeah.
a shoulder dislocation or something.
Yeah.
While watching the game, I was like straight away. It was just on his shoulder. You're like, okay, he's got a dislocated shoulder. They might just pop it in. Should be all right to go. But
Nah.
no, maybe they did it
Something's
wrong. I
wrong.
don't know. But I've seen AFL players,
Oh yeah.
figure themselves out after a shoulder injury like that within 5 minutes and then go back into it. But he
Yeah,
had a
you got the,
challenge. There was a challenge on him afterwards. He did stay on.
Yeah.
But there was a bit like, oh, what's going to what's gonna happen here.
Yeah, like that reminds me of the Kobe Bryant's dislocated finger. He like dislocated his finger or something popped out or something, and then you see him stop, turn around, and he's gone like this, and then you see him do like this,
So
and then he just turns around. He's like, "Oh, I'm good to go."
Yeah, he sort of like minimized it. He sort of just put. Yeah, I remember hearing about that. Where it's just that's what champions do, bro. But I'm not saying Paqueta isn't. Paqueta, obviously,
He's
you know
actually
that
been-
sort of injury may be foreign to him. It might hurt him. I don't know.
Yeah, he's been slowly during the season. He's been working his way, into the Premier League.
He looked really good in at the start of that game. He looked really good. And I see why he's picked over Souček, but yeah, he goes down pretty easily though. Sort of annoying. But,
Anyways, we should have won the game. We should have put another chance or two away. Felix looks unreal. I have to put my hands up and say I thought he was going to flop. Obviously, I just don't watch enough Atletico or La Liga because he's actually unreal. And
I think
that
he was,
makes
no.
if-
He was struggling at Atletico. That's why he wasn't playing.
yeah, well,
Struggling.
now he's come to Chelsea and he's absolutely turning it up. But maybe it's interesting because you parallel him to someone like Mudryk and you see who's trying harder. It seems like Felix is trying harder.
Yeah.
Is that because he's on loan and he's trying to get this move done? And Mudryk's safe because he's on a 7.5 year deal?
100%. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Nah,
So there's one thing. It's one thing getting to the top, but it's another thing staying at the top.
It's
keeping
not about
working
it's
hard.
not about staying at the top. It's about knowing you're at the top and what you're gonna do with that in that position. And
Yeah.
like you said, I think players a lot of the time need something to strive towards. And I
Yeah.
think Mudryk signing that 8.5 year contract was probably not the best thing for him in his motivation. I think. Yeah. Go on.
Sorry. It definitely depends on the person because you got like Enzo Fernandez signed just as long of a deal, but he looks like he's.
Yeah, some players don't need it.
He just
Some
they
players, it's just they're hungry.
Yeah,
They're naturally
yeah.
hungry. But Mudryk, I don't know, like we were discussing on WhatsApp, like talking about, when he's when he on his Instagram, right?
Yeah.
Like he's acting like he's in this high and mighty position. He knows where he's at. He knows the pressure that's on him. But then like taking it in as though he's some main character in a movie, like and making TikToks. It's like what the fuck? Where does your focus lie? I just feel like he needs to just black out all these social media. He needs to just shut off like Sancho did. Rashford did, like just shut out everything and just focus on your game. If you've got the potential like you have, then just focus on what matters.
Yeah. Well,
Because you see it in his game, he's freaking lazy, man.
yeah.
He is lazy.
I'll go on a rant real quick.
Go
All
for
right.
it.
So this Mudryk fella, I'll be
It's gonna be
honest.
good.
When he was linked with Arsenal, I was like, "Who's this kid?" I was like, "I don't know him. This is very overrated. Why is he going for this much money?" Then he came to Chelsea. I'm like, "Shit, I have to learn about this guy."
Yeah.
So and then he had his cameo against Liverpool. I'm like, "This is really good. This looks really good." But then in the 3 or 4 games since then, I just see inconsistencies. Like against West Ham, he tracks back, makes amazing tackles, defensive work rates there, offensive pressures there, everything's there. Then Dortmund, I don't know if I can find the clip. If I can find the clip, I'll put it on screen right now for you. He's just standing there like a spectator, right? He has this little flick on, and then he's just stands there and watches everyone run around. Because he's like at left wing, and everything's happening around the box. He flicked it onto someone up deeper, closer to the touchline. Then that player gets the ball, crosses in. Then he runs back into the box to do more. Mudryk's just standing there watching.
He just blocks up the channels. That's what
He's
I
a
see him
spectator.
do a lot. He
Bro.
just blocks up the channels and he just takes
Yeah.
up room.
Yeah.
That's what he does
Like,
when he's lazy. And
I don't-
that's, you gotta transition. He does transition
Yeah.
back to his position so much better. He needs to be he needs to be glued. He needs to gel better, I think.
Yeah,
With the boys.
but I just don't get it.
What do you think?
The work rate and the effort is there one game, not there the next game. Like it needs to be there every game because you see when he gets on the ball, you see the talent's there, the potential's there, right? And he's trying all these little flick skill moves and stuff, and nothing's working. And it's partly down to one, the execution not being 100%, and two, the connection with the other players not being there. Like you could tell he'd try it, but the player he was trying to get it to wasn't expecting it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So that comes with time.
Exactly right.
But-
yeah, that's cohesion.
Then he goes on Instagram and posts about being a Ukrainian warrior and showing what it's all about.
That's what
Brother,
I mean.
you're a Ukrainian spectator at the moment. All right, that's all I see. You're standing there watching. Okay,
Warrior.
are you all talk
I-
or are you gonna actually work? Because what you show on Instagram and everything, TikTok, all that, is that you're this really hard worker, blah blah blah. But then I watch you in the game and you're standing there watching. Looks like you're on your phone watching TikToks. And
I'm sorry,
on
man.
the stadium.
The only thing, well, not the only thing. The only thing that I see that isn't working at its like fundamental level are your wingers and your attackers, bro. And he knew that going into that club. That's why he was bought, is to show promise going forward, and also like that's you needed that defensive work rate. But I remember you said there was a question about that and whether or not he'd be able to live up to that, and in terms of the expectations defensively. And you're right. Seems like I remember us discussing at the start.
Yeah.
Once he signed, and I'm like, well, let's see what happens. He's young still, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just can't get through to some players. You know what I mean? Their egos are just too high, and it's just like, oh no, I'm doing everything right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm don't worry. It's a process sort of thing. You know?
Yeah. Well, there's also that the goal we conceded against Dortmund. It wasn't just him. There's also, Chilwell as well. Both of them were in positions to get back and help Enzo, right? And then so it was Enzo was the furthest one back. Then you had Mudryk and Chilwell with the next ones back, and then there was like Thiago Silva was hovering around the edge of the box, like he'd just come out of trying to contest the corner.
Yeah.
And so Enzo's the first one back. He's trying to track him. Out of Chilwell, Mudryk, and Thiago Silva, who do you think gets back first?
I would assume. Go on. I would assume.
Yeah.
Mudryk, right?
Thiago Silva is the only one that gets back all the way. Chilwell, I don't know. He looks like he did.
I
Chilwell,
just want to
all
break
right.
this fucking mic.
So I'll give Chilwell. He's just come back from injury. Maybe the fitness isn't 100%. He only played like 60 minutes or something, and then Kukurea had to come on. Mudryk, maybe, because I just don't understand, because he was doing that stuff against West Ham, then not against Dortmund. Maybe he's just gassed. Maybe he's not used to playing 2 games every week at
Seems like that.
at Shakhtar.
Seems
He
like
wasn't
that.
playing that much, probably.
He was literally like, you could see in his motion, he was trying his hardest, and
Yeah.
it was like, oh my god, this
Listen.
kid is just, he's not a long runner, he's not a long distance runner. It seems like he just seems more explosive.
He might just be tired. He might actually be working really hard. You know what? Because I know you're watching this,
You're right.
Mudryk. I know you're watching this. I want you to prove me wrong. All right. I don't care if you miss goals or I'm not saying you need to get a goal or assist or a goal involvement every single match. All right. I'm just saying I want to see the effort. Right. I'll give you a comparison. Timo Werner. Yeah. Timo freaking Werner. He gets slandered a lot because he'd miss open goals. He'd do this, do that. But why he's one of my favourite players ever is because every time he stepped on grass for Chelsea, 120% every time, and I could tell that.
Yeah.
That's why I respect.
No, you're right.
You know?
Absolutely. I agree.
I don't know. But
That's
it's all good. It's all well and good posting on your stories that you're doing all this. Show me as well.
Yeah,
all
sure.
right? If you're showing it on the pitch, post away. Post away. It's calm. But yeah. Prove me wrong, brother.
Yeah,
Prove me wrong.
Get some highlights for your fucking reels or something, bro. Like what? Like surely they'll do his image online better, but that's the thing. You don't want him to be motivated by that. That's what I'm saying. Just block it all out, man.
Yeah.
Because that stuff doesn't last. The motivation from that, you can't feed off that for too long, bro. It has to come from within. And I just hope for your sake, that he does something.
Yeah.
Because I can just picture him in 3 years just retiring and becoming some pop star or something. I just can. I don't know. It's just like, I just feel like he's going to say, I don't want this anymore. He would just cut up ties with Chelsea and then just start a pop band.
Oh, well, he'll still be getting paid for the next 8 years, so...
No, if he voluntarily retires or whatever, doesn't happen.
Well,
now, let's talk about... Do you want to touch on the Dortmund game?
yeah, so few quick points about the Dortmund game. So, I'll say I feel like we actually played better. I think I could see that the team cohesion, the gelling wasn't really there. Like, Dortmund looked like a team full of confidence versus a Chelsea team that was just low on confidence. So you had Dortmund, around the edge of the box, playing through our midfield, little flicks, little chops, passes, little skilled passes and stuff like that. It was all working. They were linking up so perfectly. And then you've got us going forward, trying little things like that, and it's just not coming off. I think stuff like that will come with time and come with, coaching, come with time, comes off the training ground,
That's it, man.
chemistry. But I think other than that, I think slowly during the game, we worked back into it. And actually by the end of the game, overall, we played better. I think we were the better team, to be honest with you. So I still have confidence going into the game at Stamford Bridge.
You're right.
yeah,
You're right about you guys playing better. I think you guys actually should have scored more. Well, should have scored.
We had a few chances.
least, so-
It's the chances were being created. It was the finishing that wasn't quite there. Again,
Yeah.
Havertz isn't an actual number 9. Felix is somewhat of a striker of the ball, but he's not clinical. He's more of a creative. He's going to dribble. He actually looked like the smartest player on the pitch, to be honest with you. When he got the ball, he'd dribble around. He'd create space for himself. He'd do this. And then you got like Ziyech and Mudryk. That's the problem again. Mason Mount was on the bench again. I expect him to start the next game against Southampton. But what this man did was come on in the last 20 minutes, get himself the most pointless, stupid yellow card ever, and that puts him out of the next leg. So he can't play the next leg.
So who do you have left to play in that forward third?
You ready for this? In
Go.
this first game, we started Havertz, Felix, Ziyech, and Mudryk. That's it. There's no one else, right? Because Fofana, Madueke, and Aubameyang all aren't registered. Pulisic and Sterling are still injured. Sterling may be back by the next leg. I'm not 100% sure. I think he's close, but not quite there. Pulisic's not ready. And other than that, you got young lad Chukwuemeka, but he didn't even come. Like, with all the injuries we had, Potter in that game used 2 subs. He brought Mount on for Mudryk, and he brought Cucurella on for Chilwell.
That's it.
That's
all
just
he
the 2.
can do, really.
You know who was on the bench?
That's all he can
Fofana,
do.
Kovacic, Zakaria, all injured, just sitting there to make up numbers.
That's fucked.
Right? So everyone's going on, oh, Chelsea's squad's too big. They've made too many signings.
Everyone's injured.
The next Dortmund game, our front 4 are picking itself because there's no other options.
But you realise let's hope that those players aren't injury prone that are out at the moment. Once you have them back, you guys are going to be dangerous, and everyone is going to start picking at you for it, for sure. But I get it. You guys were just sort of trying to settle what was going on now. Like, you wouldn't have spent that much unless you needed to.
Yeah.
So,
What's good is that, you got your Fofana, Madueke, are able to play in the Premier League games, so that you can give these other lads a rest. You can give Ziyech can just be a dedicated Champions League player almost. And then, down back, we've also got Badiashile, who's not registered for the Champions League. So he'll play all the Premier League games, and then Koulibaly will come in for the Champions League games.
So there's definitely, at least you got those numbers, and I think you guys have just sort of organised everything just the right way coming up into the next fixtures. You guys have had the last 2
that
games.
was dumb.
The last 2 games, you guys, could have for sure played. I think you guys have improved, if I'm honest. So you guys from the West Ham game, 1-1. Sure as your copped the first goal in a few games, but definitely should have probably won that game, if I'm honest. Should have had a penalty. Could have won 2-1.
We should have had a penalty in the West Ham game and the Dortmund game, by the way.
So the Dortmund game.
So the Dortmund game, I'll tell you what happened. Havertz got goal side. So Havertz had a ball played through to him. He got goal side of Sule. I think that's how you pronounce it.
Sule, I think.
He got goal side, so he's in front, right? Ball's in front, so it's just him and the keeper, right? He's probably an arm's length in front of Sule. You know what Sule does? Grab the shirt. You can blatantly see, grab the shirt to pull Havertz back.
He's so big,
so that he can get
the bloke's so
next to
big.
him, so that he can get next to Havertz, yeah?
Big boy.
First of all, you grab someone's shirt, that's a free kick. That's always what it is. That's outside the box, all right? So either one, and because it's denying a goal-scoring opportunity, but it's not that malicious, I'd say probably yellow and a free kick. At least. Or what happens is now they're side by side running into the box, yeah? Sula goes to tackle, misses the ball completely. It's not that clear. At first, I thought it was a decent tackle, but
Yeah.
then on the replay, I saw he didn't touch the ball at all. Just got all of Havertz.
Yeah.
No penalty. So I'm like, at least one of them two has
Look,
to
there's
be
going to
given.
be a game where now look, you've got to play in a way that sort of doesn't play into what the refs' decisions are. You know what I mean? I think you just got to just fucking win your games convincingly, and you're not in a position to do that right now. Stuff like this is going to come up.
Yeah, it's gonna.
And
Like we
yeah,
saw throughout
Sörloth
the whole Premier League.
he is a very physical player as well. He's a big boy centre backs in Germany. They're used to that. I think they're very physical, just like the English teams as well. So, I do believe that. Yeah, sure, it was there. That's usually a foul, but I think you got to look at the
It happens
game
to
holistically.
everyone.
There's all these other challenges going on. Maybe he needed to be more lenient in that case because it was a harder challenge previously. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
Should have scored elsewhere. Let's just say that.
So let's move on. I reckon.
Yeah,
Let's
we
get
spent
into
a lot of time on that.
Spurs. Yeah. Let's talk about Spurs and Leicester.
Oh, Spurs is shit, so we'll just leave it there next.
I think that's that. Honestly, okay. So I don't know what the hell happened. There was a window in that game when they just got slaughtered. Spurs.
Yeah.
Leicester just ran over him. Iheanacho came bloody out of nowhere.
Madison's
fucking
back.
Banger, man. Jeez,
Madison's
Louise,
back from injury. Madison's back from injury,
Yeah.
and he's transforming that whole team.
Right, he's
Harry
just-
Suter.
He makes that team look good. Suter, ever
Ooh.
since he's been in there, bro, they've been
turning
on an
it
upward
around.
trajectory. So,
Yeah.
I don't think it's just been him though. Like you
Nah.
said, Madison coming back into the
Madison,
team helps as
killing
well.
it.
Iheanacho has had the call up. Brendan's probably sat him down. Like, listen here, mate. We need a winner.
Yeah.
We need a winner. We need somebody to show up, and it's you, mate. It's
Yeah.
fucking you, and Dako can fuck off. Like, he can just jump on the bench because, dude, at the end of the day, they've been struggling so much, Leicester. With but that team is good. You saw it. Oh my God, Harvey Barnes, bro. I love that guy. Love him. And like I said the other week, I'm like, bro, just center your team around this kid. And dude, it's like. It was a glimpse of it, and I was just like, oh my God, this kid, it's just, you can definitely see how he's going to do really, really well. And I hope it's for Leicester, because Leicester, I think we all have a weak spot for them, I think, because of, where they came from and what they've achieved. Just huge. So, yeah, let's see what happens there. But Tottenham, on the other hand, they just switched off.
I was going to say, as well as Leicester were playing, Tottenham can't be losing 4-1 with the players they've got, with the team they've got. I think Conte's lost it, honestly. I don't think the way he wants to play, it's been found out. It doesn't work anymore. Like, it works for Chelsea for that one season, and now it's just...
Bloody Harry Kane, man.
Harry Kane.
He
Heung-min Son,
scored.
where have you been?
He scored and posted all these TikToks and reels and shit talking about, like, what highest ever Tottenham goal scorer. It's probably your last goal for Tottenham, bro. Like, honestly, like, I just don't see him scoring another 10 goals. I don't see him scoring another probably 6 Premier League goals this season. Harry Kane, I'm not joking.
The way they're playing now.
I'm not joking.
The weird thing is that
Son has done nothing this season. Fuck all. They let off Hill, the Spaniard that they decided to bring into the team for a few weeks. You know, his sister did all right, and then shipped him off to where'd he go? Sevilla, somewhere in Spain.
Yeah, somewhere in Spain.
I don't know.
Yeah,
but it was definitely somewhere in Spain, and it's just like, dude, he just seems so I don't know, just random Conte in terms of who he picks and how they play, and I think there's a combination of that and how the players' attitudes, and I think they're shit, and I think they're terrible.
And their big right back signing, Pedro Porro.
Where is he?
Dead bruv.
Exactly.
Honestly.
So I think
it was all over the place.
I
Positionally,
think
terrible.
that game was just. I think it was a great matchup for Leicester. I thought Tottenham would end up winning by a bit more. Obviously winning in the first place and then by a bit more, but they just didn't show up.
Yeah, Spurs just lackluster, honestly. Conte's ways are getting outdated, and Kane...
Yeah, absolutely, man.
Needs
Like
to move.
that's it. That's it at the end of the day. I think that's
Yeah.
it at the end of the day. Just needed a bit of a. I think Tottenham are going to be going through a transition period soon
Yeah.
too.
Get
Why not
posh.
get some Bielsa in there? Get some Bielsa in there, brother.
Get the money from the Kane sale.
Yeah, just
Reinvest
cash in,
it,
cash in
you know?
because I think it's starting. It's not going to pay as as well these days now. I think unless like a week I'll go in for him, but I don't really want him. I'd rather Osimhen.
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 I want Osimhen as well, but if Ivan Toney is not if he's good, if he's not suspended from football from a year for the betting allegations, then I'll take him as well.
He's a tidy
Osimhen
player,
and Kane.
He's a very good player. He just gets in the right positions. And what were you mentioning about his stats in terms of going forward and like his presence up there and like his
nuts.
Like in terms of like
So do we want to go into the Arsenal game next then?
Arsenal Brentford game.
Yeah.
We can talk about that first.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that first.
The big stat for that is they seem to just have figured out how Arsenal play, But here's the stat: Ivan Toney won every single aerial duel. Ivan Toney won over Saliba.
Wow, what?
Yeah. So that seems like the game plan. Hoof it up forward, let Ivan Toney win the knockdown, get possession, and just take him on.
Do you know?
But again, they should have been enough. The goal should have been drawn offside. The VAR forgot to draw the lines. That's nuts, by the way.
Which is unbelievable.
Yeah.
I was having this conversation with my mate Steve, who goes for Arsenal, on the phone. I'm like, how on earth can you have all of this at your disposal? What do you need a VAR for a VAR? Like, I just don't get it. It's just like, do you need someone to overlook the person is supposed to be overlooking? Like, you're not doing
second
your job.
VAR.
Man.
Yeah,
you're not doing your job. Arsenal should have. I think they should have come away with something there.
VAR as a tool should be so good. It should never fail.
Just quickly though, in real time, that goal did look like a goal because I forgot the Brentford's player's name, but he shifted from an offside to an onside position very quick and then went back into
that's what
into it. So
there for.
I know, but it happened so quick. Like the assistant referee didn't even pick up on it.
So that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
Like, well, the refs on the field, assistant referees. I understand when they don't see something, that's human error. Then you go to VAR, it's human error by forgetting to draw the lines. How do you just forget to draw the lines?
Yeah, no, it's
like he didn't say he didn't see it. He said he forgot to draw the lines.
Did he actually? Verbally,
yeah.
They
admitted that was wrong. They admitted the Chelsea Souček save should have been a penalty. They admitted all that, and then they got
goddamn
booted off like a couple more games in the game week that they were meant to do. They got replaced. Nuts. But yeah, Arsenal, they just seem like a few poor results ever since Jorginho signed.
Okay. Let's not get. Look, we all know that it's just it's a classic. Let's talk about the inevitables in the Premier League. You've got Tottenham being trophyless. You've got Everton chasing top four always, and
Everton chasing top four.
Always, they've always been doing that. Like as long as I've been watching,
they're a bit far
Everton
down
have been chasing for that top four spot for so long, and another inevitable is Arsenal bottling it, and that is what's going to happen.
Yep. Well, it's happening. It's happening. City won.
If these deductions don't go through, then
if they don't get a point deduction, they actually might win. They're top now.
Well, now they're top, and we'll go into the Arsenal City game.
Yeah,
I reckon.
So,
what do you think?
De Bruyne turned it back up. He turned it back up.
Oh, no. He turned it up in a lucky way, bro. He was lucky that Tomiyasu was so freaking careless.
Yeah, that was dodgy.
That pass back. What are you doing, bro? But De Bruyne, that was just second nature to him, and I think that's just flicked a switch now.
Yeah, it was a great finish. Opposite foot, perfect, right? And then later in the game, he did a signature, just take them on, run straight towards the byline, inside the box, cut it back, Haaland goal. That was the last goal.
What a goal it was too, mate.
Grealish as well. Grealish got a little bit of luck with the deflection. Otherwise, I think Ramsdale would have saved it.
Created a bit of space as well.
Yeah, he did.
In the ball.
Yeah,
he did so well, and that was also a real another. Dimension to his game. I feel I haven't seen from Haaland much. Those being quick in tight areas, and all we know him to do is really against the City side, yeah, at the start of the season, he was running to a lot of space, and teams realised, all right, we've got to just sit deep, just let him sink into us, but sort of find that in between. So it's been hard for Haaland to find space in those tight areas, but also run into it. So I think the way that teams are playing against City now are only improving Haaland. Are only he's getting better and better. And sure, he's scored his first goal in 4 games, but still, I still really feel like the next season's Haaland is going to be another beast again.
Yeah, we were saying not long ago that we feel like he needs to add more. It's crazy to say that because he's scored so many goals, but it's almost that he needs to add more to his game because he can be even better.
Yeah,
he can. I don't think he scored a goal from outside the box yet, from memory. But what I'm seeing now is the ability to get the ball, create space, put a ball into the box.
Look, he's not going to
assist.
I understand all that, but just the one thing about scoring outside the box, not City, bro. That's not City.
No, it's not at all.
Unless it's De Bruyne or Rodri.
Yeah.
Like,
but that's what I'm saying.
Teeing up and Mina, lay back, whatever.
You need that when your team's struggling. You need someone with the ability to do that, which is De Bruyne, which is Rodri. It was Vincent Kompany a few years ago.
And, those players that we were talking about, who would you field your best 11? The midfield that we mentioned, is ultimately is a midfield that really, that not dictated the game, because I still feel like City didn't play as well as they could have, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
Arsenal, you can't take a lot away from them. They equalised through a sucker penalty.
Yeah.
But City, just too strong in the end.
Nketiah had a couple chances.
God,
a couple
bro.
really good chances.
That guy, I'm so up and down about this bloke.
Yeah.
But
he was doing so. Honestly, when he
frustrates me.
When he first took over Jesus' spot with the injury, he actually started really well. He started off really well.
Yeah,
he was putting a few goals in. Now he's getting these chances and he's just not capitalizing on them. And I hear people saying, Jesus would have scored that. Jesus would have scored that. Chances are Jesus wouldn't have been in that position because they're two different players. Yeah. Right? Jesus is more likely to be the one putting the cross in than being on the end of the cross.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So when he comes back, I think he's almost back. I think he was on the bench for that game.
That's huge.
So I think he's almost back, which is huge. It's going to also change how they play again because they won't have the Nketiah type player waiting in the middle for the box.
Yeah.
In the middle of the box to shoot, to score. But they had a lot of success with when Jesus was in there, so maybe this will turn them back up. But is it too late?
No, I don't know. No. It's not too late at all, bro. It's not too late at all. Like I've mentioned, like Liverpool, seeing them at Christmas times being up and about and then dropping off. It's happened to them twice now. Twice?
Yeah.
Twice. Well, they led twice, won once. Anyway, all I'm saying is it's possible to gain a lead and lose it, and vice versa. So I think all of these horses are still in the race. I know I said Arsenal are done. They're not going to win it without the City's deductions. But at the end of the day, the race is still being run, and I just feel like City are the stronger team. It's just they've always been the stronger team. They always wait till the second half of the season to show their true form. They always do, and I think a lot of people forget that. I think. Yeah, they start seasons. They give this illusion, right? Because the start of the seasons are always, those first games, they always try to obliterate by fucking whoever they come across, right? Always first game. And then they'll have a period of like, they'll get a bit clear on top of the table, and then they'll drop off a bit. And it's like, there's a bit, the team in second or third, they're in for a sniff, and they ultimately just end up running away with it. And I think that's going to happen. I hope we see the deductions, if I'm honest, because funny. At the end of the day, like we've mentioned, that's... I
kind of wouldn't mind Arsenal winning it. If it's between those two, I wouldn't mind someone new winning it.
No, but it's just I don't want to see Arsenal fan TV. I really don't want to see that. I don't want to see it.
As a United fan, you want to see City winning it?
They would have legs to stand on after that. That's the problem. Yeah. You're going to have all these deluded fans, right, that you see on there. Like, I'm not saying all of them are, but the ones that go on there are deluded. There are only a fair few that are logical. And I'm telling you right now, man, these guys will say any wild shit and they won't even think twice about it. Anyway, well, what can you do? You're going to have fans like that everywhere, but they are the most vocal fans in the Premier League.
Yeah,
they have to be.
They're up there, definitely up there.
For me, anyway.
But yeah, so City is top on goal difference, but Arsenal do have a game in hand. I believe that game in hand is away at Villa. So it's not the easiest fixture. Depends what Villa you get on the day. Villa's a very can be good, can be shit.
I think they can.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't want to. I should probably leave this for the preview, the next round. But I think Villa have a chance. If I'm honest.
I don't even know if that's next game week. I know that's the game in hand they have. I don't know when they're playing it.
They are playing.
Are they playing? Is that the next game? Is that the next game?
Yeah.
Oh, it is too.
Yeah, Villa.
Oh,
Arsenal.
well, they're getting that one out of the way
You
ASAP.
called that. You're the one who told me that. That's why I'm like, what?
I
Like,
knew
you're
that.
the
No,
one
no,
who
no.
fucking told me that.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
alright.
I did.
Anyway, you did. Anyway,
Yeah. But then they do also have to play City once more this season, and it will be at the Etihad.
oh my god.
Yeah.
God. That's 6 points gone. That's 9 points gone.
Yeah.
Oh, Ramoto. Oh my god. Oh my god. And then you've got oh shit. But that means City goes clearer, and you're like, I just want these deductions. I need these investigations.
Well, no. So if they win,
to start
So-
snapping up.
let's
a
say
bit.
City and Arsenal hypothetically don't win every single game that's left this season,
Yeah.
and then in that game they
Yeah.
play each other. City wins. They're both level on points, dead even. It'll just come down to goal difference. So it's gonna come down to the
Goal difference and then head to head, right?
yeah.
And then if that's drawn,
Yeah.
then it's like goal
Yeah, it's tight.
4,
But
and then I don't fucking know, whatever it is.
It's going to come down to who's more consistent over the rest of the games, and at this point,
Well,
you
that's
think
what
it's
a
going to be
champ-
City.
That's what champions are. They're the most consistent team in the
Yep.
in the comp in that season, and consistent in
also-
a good sense, obviously.
Yeah, but you have got Arsenal that have got Europa League to worry about, and you've got City that have Champions League to worry about.
which
Are City going to focus on the Champions League more, which I think they will?
by the way, Pep sort of like counted themselves out of the fucking Premier League almost just like a month ago.
He always says
You know
that
what I
shit,
mean?
bro.
I know he does.
He always says that shit just to take the pressure off and make the Arsenal feel comfortable and shit, and then all of a sudden
yeah,
they're above you.
yeah. But anyway, we'll.
I actually think I've been saying the whole start of the season. I'll be like, nah, City will come back. Arsenal just started to convince me, and as soon as they started to convince me, they dropped straight fucking off.
Yeah, they lasted a lot longer than I would have thought, if I'm honest, man. Like,
Yeah.
they've really surprised me, and I definitely look at Arsenal as a team of quality now, but compared to the seasons before, they were good the seasons before, but now this is like a team that knows their identity and know what they're doing.
They're just going to get better in seasons to
knows
come
what's
as well.
expected. Yeah, and as the seasons go on, exactly, they're just going to keep improving, which is scary because the median age of that squad, man, is very young.
Ooh,
They're very young,
very
man.
young.
So we'll just see. I think there's still a lot. The way they play is sustainable too. It's not like Liverpool where
Nah, yeah.
you're just heavy metal football going nuts, hammer and tong all game. This Arsenal team know how to control a game with the ball, and they know how to sink their teeth in. And they know, but the one thing that I can fault Arsenal is their conversions. They like against Brentford, like that's what I was going to mention about the Brentford game. Brentford just sat in and
Yeah.
they just like, yep, I'm comfy here, I'm good, and then just like you said,
So it's
Tony,
exactly what
straight
Everton did
up,
to them as well.
off the counter, bang. But it turns out it was really off more of a scuffle ball going into their box. But I think Arsenal should have definitely done better. I think going forward.
Yeah, it just seems like they've been a little bit like some of the players might be tired. Martinelli looks off it.
He looked shit. He looked terrible.
Even like
Saka was there to
Tomiyasu,
still play.
Tomiyasu and Ben White, whichever one's playing at right back, have looked a bit suspect of late. I think Ben White was one of the best right backs in the league first half of the season.
Yeah, at one point
He's dropped off a little bit.
He was very
A
good.
lot of the players are just starting to drop off a little bit. The Trossard signing was very, very good. I highly rate that.
Unreal, yeah. Came on, bang, boom.
So he's great depth on the left. Give Martinelli a little rest. But midfield, Jorginho, I was kind of calm when they signed him. I was like, yeah, calm, brother.
Yeah, I
if
wouldn't be
If
too.
Partey's not playing, rough. I don't think Partey played against City. I want to say.
I think you might be right.
I think Jorginho started.
Too much football.
Yeah, he did.
You're right. Bang.
Yeah, he did.
Boom. You're right. So
He had one of the better match ratings though.
Yeah, he did. Which
I
was
don't know.
interesting. But
It's
that
hard to
Arsenal team did shit.
it's hard to pinpoint it. I think against City, their defense was just making mistakes. I think Grealish's goal was from a turnover because someone made a error pass. I think it was maybe Gabriel. Obviously, De Bruyne's goal was Tomiyasu's error.
Yeah.
And then
Bad
the last goal
error.
I think was just De Bruyne magic and Haaland magic. So,
Yeah, exactly. And
but
but
yeah,
you've always got to be turned on, bro. That's what I mean. Arsenal. Yeah.
you don't win the league by making mistakes.
No, you got to be consistent.
Yeah.
All right, so let's talk about
Manchester United.
yeah, let's talk about
Yeah.
my boys for a bit. If I'm honest, man, it's a lot of the same, not the same story. But I feel like we're really comfortable. It doesn't matter what team we put out now. I think with Leeds we learnt from our mistakes, but still in the first half, in the second game where we won 2-0, yeah, I don't know, man. We just weren't creating enough, I feel.
They took the game to you. They were
Exactly.
they put in hard tackles.
But like they did that at the start of the other game too,
Yeah.
the first game, and I think we just did a lot better in handling that. And I think we just needed to withstand them for a bit because we knew we just shut them out, we'll beat them, we'll fucking beat them, we will beat
Well,
them.
that's exactly what happened. Didn't
You
so
know?
the first game
And-
was 2-2. Didn't you go 2-0
We
down?
chipped them away. Yeah. So
Yeah.
we chipped,
So they played that first half of that second game better. The difference was they didn't put the 2 goals in.
no, exactly.
And
So
then, yeah,
not Nonto, I thought would have done something. Obviously not.
nah.
So yeah, I think we just did a lot better, and I think that Leeds first goal in the first game was a bit of not a fluke, but it just happened. So it's like it's part of the game. I get that,
Yeah.
but I think Leeds definitely know how to catch out opponents. That's what I'm going to take out of that tie there. But with us, I think defensively, we're able to switch things up and try new things. It was lucky it was against Leeds, and we tried Shaw in the middle, which was interesting. To see
Maguire and
Martinez.
Shaw,
Maguire and Shaw, exactly. It's interesting not seeing Martinez in there.
considering he couldn't play the
Didn't
Barca
play.
game.
Yeah, so yeah, I think it's refreshing. It's like the boys are a lot more versatile now.
Yeah.
I think they're more open to playing different positions. Bruno this morning played on the right midfield. So it's just like we played a 4-1-4-1. Where Weghorst
Interesting. Yeah.
as behind Rashford. It was cooked, man.
Yeah.
But that was the Barca game, by the way. I'm just mentioning. So I'm jumping back and forth. But the Leeds game, Rashford again, just on fire, killing it. Unbelievable form he's in. I reckon, man. He's unstoppable. He's unstoppable. He's scored in the last 12. I don't even know how many games now.
He seems to score most of the goals
But
later on once he moves central.
that's what, bro.
You say it as well.
It started that week. It
Yeah.
started that week where I was just like, not that week, but in that period, I noticed that's what we were doing because we had Martial starting. We're like, he's not doing anything. I'm like, get Rashford in the middle. You can see he's dangerous. And sure, when he cuts in from the left, it's great and all, but he's too restricted, I feel like, on the left wing. I think Marcus Rashford now, he's got a bit more strength to him. He looks a lot stronger. He's quicker somehow as well. And he's just a lot better in the middle. He's not as restricted. Seen a couple of goals go in on his left foot too recently, which I've been pretty...
2 headers as well.
2 headers, man. 2 back-to-back
Yeah.
as well. In games, back-to-back games. So, yeah, I think this United team, I'm sort of just summing up the Leeds and Barca games in a way. I'm not saying they're similar, but I think Barca did well to get back into it. We should have closed out the game. That Barca team, I don't think should have scored 2 goals against us, if I'm honest with you. But they're going to be struggling against in the next leg without their key midfielders, Gavi and
Pedri.
I believe I saw something about that. I didn't catch it. So without them, I think we run through them at Old Trafford, and I think I think we'll be fine against Barcelona. But yeah, in the league now, gotten that win against Leeds, and we're in the sniff again, 5 points away. We've got a game in hand, but Arsenal, again, we've mentioned they've got Villa coming up. So we definitely have an opportunity to to really close the gap. And City, let's see if they can continue on with their form at the. I wouldn't say form at the moment, but their win, and see if they can build on that. Let's see. Yeah, let's see what happens, bro.
Would you say you're relying on Rashford too much?
Yes and no,
Because,
but he's always been used to that. He's always been
Yeah.
starting. He's always been there. He's fine, and I think his body can cope with it. I think he just was mentally out of it, burnt out. I think he was just burnt out after the World Cup, the Euro. Sorry.
Yeah.
And after the Euros, he just needed a bit of a rest, and I knew it. I fucking knew it. Before that competition, I'm like, Rashford has been playing for so long now. Through Ole, man, because Ole loved playing him, and he was like our talisman too at one point, and back then, and then we sort of started relying on others that more spread the responsibility of scoring on the front three. But bro, but Rashford has just grown into this player now where I think he can handle that. He's 25 now.
Yeah.
I think he's at an age now. He's got a baby face. I think that's why we get a bit. We start to think about Rashford and his.
I still think of him as a young prospect almost.
But
then I realised
he's
he's been
now.
there for ages.
He's there. I know. He's been since he's won that 39 on debut. Seeing him score on each debut in Europe, in the League Cup, like every game he's scored in. He's scored, and he's always had that natural knack for scoring. Doesn't matter. Think about how much weaker and smaller, and he's always had his pace, but I just think he's grown to such a player now, and he's scary good. And I don't know, let's just see what happens for the rest of this season. I think that's when we'll evaluate whether or not we need another striker going into the next season.
Yeah, so that's what I was going to say. I always thought he was best on the wing, but now it seems like he should just be the striker. Stay at striker.
I agree.
Maybe I don't. It seems like Garnacho is still early, but it seems like he has more of an impact if he comes off the bench than if he starts.
Yes, you're right. He's like a Chicharito for the wing.
Yeah.
No, but I'm sorry. He's young. I know, but
so he can grow into that starting role.
He is.
But at the moment, it seems like more of a bench impact.
Yeah, that's what Ronaldo had the same sort of role when he first got into the squad too.
Yeah, that's why. Yeah, a lot of people have that at
first season, like breakout, because that's what he.
That's what Mudryk did.
Yeah.
Came on against Liverpool, looked amazing, and then the game since has been a bit stinky.
Yeah, he just played the game of his life, mate.
Yeah.
So
so what do you want next season? Do you want a striker or do you want a winger?
No, I don't need no more wingers, man. We've got plenty.
Would you want to sign like a proper striker and have Rashford on the wing?
Nah,
and continually go to the if it's not working, just push Rashford.
We would go for a striker who is malleable like Rashford. When I say malleable, I mean can change from winger to striker. I think we need another player like that because we've got a lot of wingers. We don't have winger strikers though.
Because it's not Osimhen. Osimhen's a striker.
Absolutely, I agree. But like not a Cavani, but like a Cavani-like player who has a bit of pace. Can pass the ball.
Forced to play on the wing because Ibrahimovic kept him out there.
Well, he's doing that at
PSG.
Napoli as well.
Oh, at Napoli, yeah.
So he was more their sole striker, but definitely.
All right.
Could
if
switch.
you're going to Napoli, you have to choose one: Osimhen or shit.
We know who you're talking about.
Yeah, that guy. Pick one.
Nah, Osimhen for sure.
Yeah,
Osimhen. If I was picked between any of those two, because they are respectively, not the best in their position, but they just play that position. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't feel like you said. I don't think Osimhen can really. He could be a wing player. Remember I remember seeing runs down the line on the right side for Osimhen, and then him coming in he's a bit too long.
Maybe
Gakpo. Too long. Yeah, very funny. Very funny. But yeah, Gakpo would have. That's why we were interested in him, though, I believe. We need a player that could do both. He wouldn't have been a winger. He probably would have been more coverage for the midfield as well. But anyway, so in saying all of this, I feel like.
So you don't want to keep Rashford as a striker? if you're picking your best attack right now, what is it?
My best attack right now, Rashford up front. Oh my God, this is so hard. Sancho on the right, Garnacho. No. Yeah.
Weghorst, Martial.
No, no chance. I think this is what I mean by our team. I think our players don't just play in one position at a time.
Sancho can
that's
kind of
why
go
we
either
can,
wing.
You can look at our 11 and you can be like, there's a gap there.
Martial can go all across the front three as well.
Where they play in this like systematic way where, it's just like they know where to go, what to do. They know what part of the pitch they need to be covering because Targ likes to spread the pitch into like 5 parts, like middle 3 and then the side 2 channels. So yeah, as long as we've got players in those channels, mate, blocking up space, we're okay. This is where I think Ten Hag's way of play doesn't depend on the players' performance. It really doesn't. It does, but individual performance. It's about their team performance. It's how they play as a team because that's why Bruno runs so hard and that's why he runs out of position so much. He doesn't. That's his role. That's his fucking role. And I'm over people giving him shit. Like I said, he's a fucking awesome player. He can do everything. So it's just like our boys are becoming a lot more selfless, you see. So Garnacho, he's a bit of a selfish player, but that's what you want. You want someone hungry like that. So yeah, I think that's my input on United. I think we're doing really well at the moment.
Yeah.
We had a little blimp against Arsenal.
That's right. You still didn't play bad in that game, so you can take that. No. I just wanted to say I'm very impressed with Ten Hag's in-game management. Like the changes he'll make, like dropping Weghorst to the 10, changed that whole game for you.
How unreal was that?
That was very good.
How unreal was it? He just like I think Ten Hag just has all these situations in his head that they have how games could potentially play out, and he's just very good at adapting.
Yeah, it's very good. All right, what have we got next?
We've got last game, the feature game we've got is Liverpool Everton. So that game was against the grain of what's been happening recently, I believe.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
Well, two very different goals because Salah scored and didn't celebrate really, and then Gakpo scored and it looked like his baby was just born or something. He's held his kid for the first time. He was pretty much crying. He was pretty much crying.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah, I know.
Salah scored and it's like, for Gakpo, it's like, I'm not worried. For Salah, I'm like, that could kickstart him. Because the way he scored, he was like, just doing my job.
Legit, that's it. That's all.
Does the mailman celebrate when he delivers the mail?
Right, brother. Exactly right. Just doing his job, mate.
Yeah.
Dude, that was that little poke I put on the
I saw that.
It was a little poke. It was just like, it's like, yeah, all right, we get it. You scored.
Yeah. But look,
relax. Like, I think the Harry Kane thing was in my head too. I'm like, just shut up. You scored. All right, we get it.
Yeah. I hear Liverpool fans saying, "Oh, we're back. No, you barely. I say barely. You 2-0. You beat Everton.
Jamie Carragher's saying, "Yeah, we can finish top 4 now."
No.
Fucking delusional, bro. Seriously,
there's
1 week I'm like, these guys are alright, and then the next 5 months I'm like, these guys are mad. Wow. What's wrong with him?
Don't base it off Everton.
No.
Alright. Now look. Chelsea's literally got Southampton this week. We could go win 4-0. I still won't be confident for the rest of the season.
Let's talk about the game a bit more.
Yeah. So Nunes got an assist. Gakpo got a goal. Salah got a goal. I think Trent got an assist.
Trent
assisted Gakpo's goal. Is what I want to say.
No, he didn't.
No,
it was
Who got that
Nunes
assist?
and you know what? It was probably in the build up. Like it was probably like a break of play. Not a break of play, but there would have been a little something going on. It probably wasn't enough to be an assist.
Maybe. I don't know. Well, look, Salah's goal, Pickford got his positioning all wrong. I think he was expecting Gakpo to get the final touch on it, so he was set up for that, and then it just went past Gakpo to Salah, who tapped it in, pretty much on an open net. But look, I watched the game. Liverpool didn't blow me away with how they played. It's not like they're playing United or City and they overcame them. Well, actually, they did beat City, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
It's not like they were playing an absolutely great opponent. And
but look. To be honest, I did see glimpses of old Liverpool with like Salah's run and but like you.
Yeah, kinda. Yeah.
What do you think?
Oh, it's a tough
There's
one.
glimpses of it,
there's
but
glimpses
still.
of it, but there's been glimpses of it like a lot of the season. Like when they beat City.
Jesus, that felt like last season, if I'm
Yeah.
honest, man.
But a few positive notes to come for them. They've got Jota and Firmino back, which is changes
huge.
their whole attack if they come back in.
That is huge.
If their front line is Salah, Firmino, Jota, that's better for me. For me, that's better.
They'll definitely give them more options going forward, and a lot more.
Maybe Nunes and
Rest.
Jota or Nunes and Firmino.
Yeah.
Just chuck Nunes on the left as like a left striker, and while Firmino or Jota is playing the false nine. Because you need a technical player at the false nine for how Jurgen Klopp wants to play. You need a technical player at the false nine like Firmino that's going to link up the play. It's going to
I think he was trying to change that. I think he was trying to change that.
Yeah, that's how he's doing with Nunes. But that's like I was saying the other week. All of Klopp's like management staff, like the recruitment staff, they've all left Liverpool, right? Yeah. And who's Klopp brought in since? Nunes and Gakpo.
Yeah, true.
They're his sightings.
Yeah.
Dead, bro.
Yeah, I know.
It's dead.
I know.
It's
It is. Yeah, I don't. I'm actually finding it hard to see how Nunes is going to ultimately fit in this squad.
I'm still giving him time. Still.
No,
I say it's still
I'm just saying
early,
I'm finding it hard to
yeah.
see. I'm not saying it's not going to happen at all, but it's just like he's struggling. Is he in the right positions? Yeah, that's all I hear. He's in the right positions. Yeah, all right, we'll see.
Doesn't matter unless you score.
All right.
At least he's trying.
So yeah, sure he's trying, but I've seen plenty of strikers.
They do need
come
to
in
get
and out of the
top
Premier
four.
League, and
if they
not
want
show much.
If they want Bellingham, they need to get top four.
They're not
but
do that.
I don't think they're going to do that.
So they've got a game in hand. So if they win that game, they're 6 points away from the 4. Just saying.
I still don't see it.
I don't know.
I still don't see it.
It's doable.
It's doable, but I don't see City, Arsenal, Newcastle, and United, and Manchester United. I don't see any of the 4 dropping out of the top 4. Who's going to come in?
Newcastle.
Tottenham?
I don't know. Maybe.
Newcastle
maybe.
but,
I don't know.
Like they can drop points, but I don't see who's going to take the spot from them.
But there's that pressure
Tottenham,
involved.
no.
Like you just said, you can't see anything happening. Yeah, all right. Well, I'm telling you now, those words would get to some players for sure. They get nervous, and who knows?
Anything's possible, I guess. Yeah. Anything's possible.
So
Chelsea
I think
could get back in.
Look, I think that's enough for Liverpool. Fuck Liverpool.
Yeah.
I'm over it now. I'm over it. Like,
so I was trying to give them some semi-kind words this week after we went in on them last week.
No. All right, so let's. Do you want to go through the rest of the results?
Anything else notable?
So I'll just run through it. So we had Palace Palace drawing to Brighton 1-1.
Yeah,
I
Palace
thought Brighton
not been
would
playing
go
as well as first half of the season.
Yeah, I thought Brighton would do a lot better there. And then we've got Southampton losing 2-1 to a 10-man Wolves.
That's nuts.
So that is the end for Mr. Nathan Jones at Southampton. So he's been sacked.
I'll give you something. That gives him the 3rd shortest stint as a Premier League manager in history.
Who are the other 2?
Frank de Boer lasted 4 matches at Crystal Palace in 2017. Les Reed at Charlton lasted 7 matches.
God damn, that would have been ages ago.
All right. Wait, so Frank de Boer lasted 4 matches. Les Reed, 2006, Charlton, 7 matches. Then Nathan Jones, Southampton, 8 matches.
Well, there you go.
Nuts.
So, it's one of those happened a while ago, but...
Yeah.
So, I think Southampton, fair enough.
I mean, what did they expect?
Don't blame them. They're bringing like you said, championship coach and... What?
They're going straight back there.
And what?
Like, what?
So, after that game, we had Fulham and Nottingham Forest.
Fulham's good.
Yeah, good team.
Willian, where's he come from?
Yeah.
Where's he come from?
No, what a goal.
Right,
Taylor Navas had
goal.
nothing.
Bins.
He had no chance against that shot.
The toppest of bins.
Yeah.
This guy...
It was a really good finish, and I think that just... That goal within itself is like, fuck. Forest was doing everything they can.
Willian's journey is so weird to me. He was a contract player at Chelsea. He turned it up in his last year of his contract. his best seasons were his last contract seasons. His last year at Chelsea,
seasons, yeah.
his last year at Chelsea was his best because he wanted another contract.
Absolutely.
We didn't give him the contract he wanted, so he went Arsenal, stunk up the gaff, went Brazil, thought he was done. Now he's
come
popped
back.
up again.
I know, and I think it just credit goes to that squad, bro. That squad's
Everyone's playing well.
good team, bro.
Polina in the midfield, unreal.
Fulham
Unreal,
is
that guy.
sitting 7th.
Yeah.
At the moment,
Yep.
7th.
Yep.
Fulham.
Listen
Remember
to these
Fulham
players.
and Norwich supposed to trade places with each other?
Yeah.
It looks like that's not going to happen.
Polina,
Obviously not.
Pereira, Mitrovic, Willian,
Yeah.
De Cordova
They've
Reid.
hit the 30 points as well that you need to survive the league too. So
Yep.
long ago. So damn, man, they're sitting comfortably now. So I think
Yep.
Fulham. I think we need to put some respect on their name now, man. Yeah, sure, they lose a couple of games against some mid-tier opposition, but I think overall they're pretty good.
Yep. What
So
else?
we've run through that. Bournemouth, Newcastle, man. I was surprised.
Yeah,
1-1.
Newcastle dropped off. When Bruno Guimaraes doesn't play, completely different team.
Yeah,
Completely different team.
I think, and they'll take that. They'll see that, and they need another creative player like him, who's hardworking. So yeah, Newcastle.
That's what
with
they'll
a
get.
blimp.
They've got the money now to just start buying. What they're gonna need to do is use the money, buy improvements, right? So
Yeah.
upgrade a position. So you got, I don't know, Fabian Schär, right?
Yeah.
Buy a better centre back, and then
Yeah.
Schär becomes the depth. That's how they're gonna
Schär's
get better.
But he's
Yeah,
I know what you mean.
I'm just using an example. It doesn't have to be. It can be
Yeah, I
any
get
player,
you.
but
I
that's
get
what
you.
they are. That's how they have to progress now.
No, I that is exactly how it is. That Newcastle team had a good foundation, had a really good foundation. I think that's what also the owners would have seen because they wouldn't want to take over a squad that they've spent a bit, but not as much as what you'd think the team with those sorts of owners would go out to spend. I think they've done really well in. I'm not going to say respecting the financial fair play rules because they're probably going to break them soon. But I think they've done really well.
Yeah.
But look, hiccup against Bournemouth. It's a bit of a blow with their race against us to get in the top 3. So I think that is gonna. We've still got a game on them, but they're a few points away from us. So yeah, they're 5 points away. So they're going to be 2 points behind us now, which is good. Gives us a bit of a cushion. So yeah, and I think the other games we have covered. So that comes to the end, I believe, mate. So we didn't.
I really hope they keep Tottenham out of the top 4. Please, for the love of God. I hate Tottenham so much, and I hope Newcastle keep them out because they're only two.
Yeah, they will. They will. Tottenham always. Are just always going to sit in that position. I feel, man. It's always going to be that team like a Newcastle or, a Chelsea or a Liverpool or whatever, just taking their spot. It's just a cycle, bro. These top 4, and they just sit in the middle of it.
I was about to say I'd rather Liverpool get in top 4 than Tottenham, but I don't know.
No, I'd rather Tottenham. Obviously, why wouldn't you?
Chelsea fan, London rivals.
They're going to celebrate a top 4 finish. Like, come on, man. Like, they're going to get a trophy, make a trophy for it.
Brighton, Fulham, or Brentford. One of them.
That'd be weird. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
It'd be so weird seeing them in the Champions League. It's like when Leicester won the league and they were in the Champions League next year.
They did.
Crazy.
They got to the quarters, man.
That was mad.
They got to the quarters.
Yeah, that was so cool.
Bro, it was unreal because Leicester did shit that season too.
Yeah.
In the Premier League. Not shit, but they obviously didn't start the season well at all. I remember they did not start it well at all.
That was cool though. It was cool that whole thing.
So yeah. Anyway,
anyways, I think that is
wrap it up there. Yeah, that was a good episode, mate. There was lots to talk about there. We had the two games.
There was a lot of games to talk about. A lot of source material. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. So I think we can label this as a preview for both Premier League, not review for Premier League and some Champions League tie and Europa League and
European games.
The Europe, yeah, Premier League and Europe. We'll call this one. So yeah. No, thanks for joining, guys. It's been it's still bloody stinker. Yeah,
we're outside,
hot,
38 degrees.
Got a nice little setup here. Got a fan set up nicely.
Yeah,
cooling.
You can't hear it, but we've got like 3 fans on us right now.
Yeah, it's pretty hectic.
Yeah.
So it's like 38 today. So
yeah.
My watch says 41 degrees. I'm not joking. 41 degrees.
Because I rocked up, eh?
Bubba, that's nuts.
Oh, God.
That is nuts. So thanks for joining, guys. And do you have anything else to say? Nah, fucking hell. Never again. Never again. Can't do it. Harry Super.
I haven't done that in a while.
Yeah, let's see. Hopefully, he does well
Yep.
in the game week coming. So, see you guys in the next episode. Next
Laters.
review or
Laters, guys.
yeah, see you. Thanks, guys.
Bye.